Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's 7:38. And Maria, will you please do the roll call?
Yes, and to make sure, can everybody see my screen with the agenda?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you. Miss Anthony,
Present.
Miss Bright,
Present.
Miss Dickinson,
Present.
Miss Clement,
Present.
Mr. Capra let me know he wasn't going to be able to make it. Miss Shaw
Present.
and Mr. Stevie also let me know he's not going to be able to make it. So, Miss Vice Chair, we have a quorum and you're going to be the chair today.
Okay, sounds good. Let's take a look at the LAR and review and approve. Would anyone who was present like to make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second the motion.
Great. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. All right, the minutes pass.
And I'm just going to leave this up here. I'll come back to it so you can see the motion for this case that took place at this meeting, this last meeting.
Great. Thank you, Maria. All right, next up, we have a call to audience. Is there anyone on the call today who is not part of the One East Tool facade modification who would like to speak with the board? Sounds like we don't have anyone today, so we can continue. Maria, would you like to give us a staff report on the project?
Yes, Ms. Bright, members of the DRB. This case was reviewed by the DRB at the last DRB meeting of February the 23rd, and is the one where they're proposing modifications to the existing building in order to meet ADA access and fire code. It's a code violation. So the DRB reviewed it, and I'm gonna show you here the motion. I'm gonna read it. Since Ms. Bright, I think you were the only one that was not at this meeting. Motion was made by the DRB Chair Stevie that the Design Review Board has reviewed the applicant's project for compliance with the Rio Nuevo area design criteria and requested the applicant to return to the DRB with the following. Number one, a shade study. Number two, location of existing / proposed outdoor lighting. Number three, more detailed information on colors and materials of proposed railings, ramp, staircase, and how the south railing is interacting with the existing historic railing on and near site. So the motion was passed unanimously. I also want to share with you the PRS motion. The PRS reviewed this case yesterday. Last time the DRB's meeting, the PRS meeting was canceled, so the DRB didn't have the benefit of seeing the PRS's recommendation. But this is what it is. So the motion made by the PRS was approved with conditions, and these were the 4 conditions. The plans are revised to show the dimensions, light pattern, and finish of the windows. The under-mounted lights are acceptable as either 4-inch or 6-inch diameter. They should have either a bronze or black finish. The plans are updated to show the fan in window number 9 is removed from the opening, and the railing at the end of the ramp shall have a return. So that was the PRS's motion yesterday. Again, this case needs to comply with the Rio Nuevo area criteria. The DRB thoroughly reviewed this case last time, so that's what I have. Unless there's other questions for me, I believe Mr. Layton here is going to be the one providing the overview of the revised design package, which I have here.
Great, thanks so much. That really helps us get oriented. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and turn it over to the applicant to present the project.
And Chris, just let me know which page you want me to go to, or you can share your screen too if that's
Yeah,
easier for you.
I didn't pull up the package because I didn't expect to have to do this. So
Okay.
anyway, One East Tool, we have a new tenant, and the big thing we're trying to do is get ADA access and some life safety fire code kind of minor changes to the building. It's going to include putting a handicap ramp on the front. It doesn't really require any modifications of the building. We're going over the existing stairs, which are only about 2 feet wide to begin with, but they'll be preserved in place. Replacing basement windows on that northwest corner to be fire resistant because it's the fire exit for the building, one of the fire exits. As well, that ramp runs in front of some windows that you can't really see from the street. They're covered with metal grates, again, to meet fire code. And then we're adding 3 light fixtures under the canopy, can lights that are more or less hidden, but will light up that whole loading dock. And then on the back side of the building by the tracks, we're going to put a fan in to meet ventilation requirements because of changing out these other windows to meet fire requirements. And finally, it's just a new doorway, just replacing an existing door with a new one that more or less looks like what's there today. Can you, next one? So I think you've all seen what it looks like today. This is the rendering of what it'll look like when we're done. We did change the railing to be the 4-inch. The existing railing staying. We're going to attach on the back side of it the 4-inch mesh like next door has. We are going to remove all concrete behind that head wall. There are no utilities in there, so we can get some trees. We've added blue stake and some plantings. And there will be 3 lights, one over each doorway. There's a little detail that they're going to be very easy to hide in that you won't even know that we've really added them. They're right up against the building, but they'll light up all 3 doorways into the building. Additionally, I guess we're going to propose to add some landscape in what the city just built out there because it is kind of barren right now. It'll be natural rust, which is what everything is today, that's out there. These vertical posts, I think that's what Vince was confused about. Oh, I'm pointing at them. You can't see them. Me pointing. The vertical posts holding up the canopy are painted, but the railing itself is a natural, just kind of rust. The stair railing will be retained as well. You can see in this detail, although it'll serve no purpose. Next slide, please. So here's more details on the railing. Again, it's just going to attach to the back side of it. There was a lip, so it does meet the 42-inch requirement for safety. The ramp, because of the length and the heights we got to get, has a landing in the middle. And the windows and fire service are not, the fire service itself is not affected by this. It's a little bit to the east of the ramp. The one thing that's not showing here that I discovered is we are going to have to add a backflow preventer kind of at the very east end of the building. It does not currently have one. Questions so far? Next slide, I guess, Maria. I haven't seen this myself, so I'm faking it, but I know what we're doing. Existing railing is staying again, and just having the mesh attached to the back, just kind of clamped on basically. Next slide, please. The ramp will be steel. Then on the back corner, the emergency exit. That platform exists already. The stairs don't meet code. They're just not even risers, so we're going to just rebuild them. Come down to that landing. There are existing stairs going off that, but they just go straight out. So we have to add that landing just for ADA purposes and then turn the stairs. All of that's pretty much hidden behind the wall of the Stone Avenue underpass. Again, there's the existing opening for the door. It's just getting rebuilt. It's to be an emergency exit, getting the panic hardware and that sort of stuff. And that deck again exists today. The stairs do not have any mesh, so we're going to add that as well. At this location, the lowest one does not need it because it's not, the height doesn't require the mesh on the lowest landing. And this is, the riser does not protrude. I remember that was an issue last time, into the ramp. It actually, there's like a 1-inch protrusion, which isn't acceptable, my understanding. I guess it's 2-inch. And again, there's just railing detail. Oh, there's where the puck lights are going to go. I don't know if you can see, if you can zoom in, there's a little, almost like an awning under the awning on the building that slants out. There we go. That's where we're going to place the lights. They'll be more or less concealed, but we'll light up that dock, and the out in the right of way, there is adequate light, but this will just make the building warmer, I think, probably better for pedestrians getting in and out. And again, that can be bronze, not a big deal. Here's all the windows. In the basement, I think 1, 2, and 3 are the front windows by the ramp. 4, and 5 are from inside. 6. Those are all the windows anyway, running down the side. The ones you can see vegetation in are the ones on that west side. Oh, there we go. He's got them labeled. One is boarded up. I think it's broken, but they'll just be replaced with a clear fire-rated glass. Basement, there is no change in anything we're doing in the basement. And here's the type of windows that we're planning on putting in. Some are operable. And again, they can't really be seen. They'll be mostly behind the ramp, and there's some existing screening on them on the face of the ramp. This louver is what's going to go on the back of the building for the fan for the window for the required ventilation. So I think it will look a lot less stark. I don't know, did he do a shade study?
Yeah, I think this is what this is, Mr. Layton. There's the image and here's the calculations.
Okay.
Which DRB members, I'm not sure if you received my email late yesterday. Vince Catalano revised the design package. He had not included the calculations, so he went ahead and included
he
them in the
is.
revised. And there he is. And Vince, you're muted.
So Vince, we're on the shade study. You wanna
Okay.
take over?
Yeah, I apologize. Do you want me to share my screen? Well, I'll just go from here. So on the shade study, sheet 19 and 19.1, we did it in SketchUp. And if you go to 19.1 has all the calculations. Basically, the existing awning, and it would provided 79% right there. If you look at the existing porch and then the shade over that, the new ramp, which is 262 square feet, and then the shade from the new landscaping is 153, which gives us 58.4. Then if you take all three of those items, the existing porch, the new ramp, and the existing sidewalk, we have 1,193. And then you divide it by what we're providing for shade, and you're still over the 50% requirement. And the reason we're having an issue with that sidewalk putting landscaping between the curb and the sidewalk, if you go back to the previous page, you can see that the traffic signal is right there on the bottom page. See how the traffic signal is there? So they are prohibiting us from putting any trees in that area to block the site visibility. But if you go further up, you can see that in that landscape area, we provide over 50% for the ramp and the front of the building at this time. We worked with David Marfevka from the City of Tucson Transportation Landscape Architect with the location of the landscaping and the selection of the landscape plants. If you go down to sheet 20, you can see the landscape plan there and the selection of plants that David recommended that we use for that area of town and for getting shade. So that's the shade study that we completed that we didn't have in the previous report. Does anyone have any questions?
Anyone on the DRB, any questions about the shade study, the landscaping, anything they've presented today?
Rosemary, this is Carol. Remind me, what percent do we require for shade?
50%.
Okay. And could you go back to your sheet that that shows the calculations? Thank you. Thank you. I would like to ask a question. This is to the applicant. Have you indeed actually purchased the property from Tucson yet? That area where the trees you're proposing trees, is that within or is that still ADOT right of way? I mean TDOT right of way.
It's TDOT right of way still. We are in the process. We've done the application. And there are no utilities, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's just a slow process for the city to get it created.
And you'd say you'll be taking out all the concrete in that area?
Yes, because it's serving no purpose.
Right.
There is building drainage, which will help with those trees naturally. So.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's certainly an improvement from the last time we looked at this project. Thank you.
Okay, can I cover the next item? I don't know, the location of existing and proposed lighting. If you look at sheet 15.
Can I just have a question about the shade? Can you go back to the image, the SketchUp image, I guess? So, sorry, I may have missed this. So you're saying that canopy is solid now, not the kind of the glazing?
Well, it's dark. It still provides a shade. It has it's a full shade. The glass. If you go up, Well, actually go to the next topic and I have a picture there and you can see how dark the glass is. So if you go to page 15.
Well, and I guess my question is, when you did the percentages, are you just doing it for what outline of the lot are you
Further down,
doing it
page,
for?
okay, further down, page 15, sorry. What percentage we're doing for the awning?
No,
Oh,
I say for the lot that you're saying you've got 58% or whatever, what
Oh, it's-
outline? I mean, you're
we-
not, are you, can you show what you're including as the percentage of the site?
yeah, it's all in the front facade and I break it out in the square footages on
I know,
sheet.
but I want to see in a plan what you are saying is your site that you're getting that percentage of.
Okay, so if you, okay, so I mean, I mean, I could show you graphically what we're doing here. This awning here, and it's the shadow below that you can see. And then we
Yeah,
see the
I
trees
know
out
what
front
you're
that-
saying. I understand all that. I'm just asking, are you assuming your site ends at that short little retaining wall?
No,
So you
no,
have
we're
50
saying it. No, we're saying it ends here at the
Where?
edge of the curve.
I can't see where you're pointing to.
I know. Let me. Hold 1 second. I apologize for. I don't know why I was not able to get in all morning, so I apologize for that time. Can I take the screen over from my?
Yeah, go ahead, Vince.
Okay. Okay, so let me so let me go to that page that we're discussing right now. So page 15. Can you see my screen yet?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. So on page 15 of the study. Whoops, I'm sorry, that was page 19. Sorry. 19. So what we're showing here is all the way to this curve. Can you see my mouse and where the curve
Oh,
is?
okay. So it's all of that is
Yes.
included. So you
Right.
get 58% of that.
Yes.
All right.
The
And what
problem-
size-
And then
what-
the other issue, I'm sorry, but the issue was, see this
Yeah.
signal right here, and
Yeah.
the property is right here, so we were limited. But what we did was we were able to accomplish with enough landscaping and the existing
Yeah.
awning, and that's the three numbers that you see here.
Yeah, I
The
get that.
621. Okay. Okay.
My other question is, what size and what age trees are you assuming they are for this?
We were looking at mature trees after 8 years. 5 to 8 years, it was the parameter, and we looked up and we have the information on how size, what size that specific species of tree would be in 5 to 8 years. And then we took the square footage of that canopy that's projected onto the ramp and used that in our calculation.
And are you going to be maintaining these trees?
Yes, because they're going to be on private property.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Can I go to the next concern you had?
These two.
Okay, so the next concern that was brought up at the meeting was exterior lighting requirements. So what we did is we are providing at the front entry here, above each of the main entry, we're providing a light. It's going to be the only thing that the historical review said that they would like the trim of the light to be either black or bronze, but we're putting a puck light, and as you can see, here's a separate awning, and then we're putting it underneath that separate awning. And so we are providing the light at the entry. And then if you look at sheet 21, let me go back one sheet. Sorry. There's a light study here showing the light at the entry we meet the foot candle requirements, but now with the additional puck lights, we're adding additional lights. So you were concerned about not enough light at the front door, because we were receiving enough light on the site because we have pole lights and street lighting. But now if the street lighting went dark, the building would still have enough light to meet the requirement of the board. On page 4 of the board in the narrative, I went through each one of your concerns, each one of the items and broke it out, and so that you can review it. That shows that we covered each item. But the 3 items that we're covering that were on the continuance were the shade study, and then the location of existing and proposed outdoor lighting. So I'll go back to sheet 15 and see if you have any comments about the lighting that we're providing.
Yeah, Vince, what's the depth of that little awning, the angled one with the
Oh, the
corrugated?
depth, it's like 8 inches, and we have either a 4-inch or a 6-inch puck, whatever fits in that space. That was the concern of the historic. So it's going to fit in that space. I think we have 6 inches, and we're going to put the 6-inch puck in there. Any other questions? Can I go to the next item, which was the more detailed information on the colors, material of the proposed ramp, railing, and staircase, and how the south railing interacts with the existing historic railing on the, and so let's turn to page 11. I'll go up to page 11. And we redid the rendering with the 4x4 net mesh that goes in here. So this is what this project will look like when it's finished. And then if we look at the individual details, this is the the existing railing that's along the south edge. We're putting that 4x4 behind it, and I'll show a detail how that's done. Then the ramp is going to have that same 4x4. It's still going to have a rust color to it, and it's going to be 2x2 railing handrail with a wire mesh color to be natural rust. And then we have the west end facing Stone Avenue. That's the existing railing. That's the existing stair and the existing handrail. We are leaving the handrail there and the stair, and then we're coming in with a new 4x4 mesh behind that. On the stairs on the west side, we provided the 4x4 mesh there with the guardrail, and then as we drop to the lower level, we're just going to have a handrail for the railing for the staircase. Then you asked about the connections, the way it's going to be done with the existing railing. You have showing the rail here, and then we are going to tack weld to the railing the 4x4 mesh with a 1x1 steel tube. And then this is the way it looks in cross section. One of the concerns they had was that what happens at the little fire riser. And actually, because of the curvature of the existing loading dock and the railing, that you only have a 2-inch protruding into that space, so there's no issue with that. I think that covers all your concerns for item number 3, which was the more information on the railing and how it would look as a final product. And the historic review already looked at it, approved it. The only comment is I need to put a return on the edge of the handrail. That was the only comment they had.
Okay, great. Carol, it looks like you have a question.
Yes, regarding the color of the existing railing and the application of the new mesh by tack weld to the existing poles. Will you be just what color is the existing railing? Will it be repainted?
It's like
and then
it's a painted rust color, and then ours will be a natural material. Ours will match this, which was existing next door at 17 East Tool. This is right adjacent to our space. That's what it's going to match. And then the existing railing looks like this at this time. and that will remain the same color. We just repaint it, make, want a final product that looks nice.
So you'll repaint it before you tack weld the mesh on or after? That seems a bit awkward.
Well,
How
we're
are
just
you gonna repaint
we're-
it? When will you repaint
we'll
it?
repaint it first, and then we'll tack
Yes,
the other product on. Yes,
and then spot paint where the tack welds go, because that's gonna mar the.
but they're going to
the-
be covered. They're actually covered by the. Yes, we'll spot paint in those locations. We want a final product that looks nice. So yeah, you'll spot
Right,
paint
but
those.
when you're tack welding with a painted surface, you typically remove the paint first before you tack weld.
Yeah, on the back side there. Yeah. So then you're gonna have to repaint it. I mean, the heat of the tack weld
Will burn it off and leave a mar, so your new paint job will look a bit messy.
Well, but you want to paint the whole rail first, and then you want to go back
Right.
and spot paint the locations that are impacted by the new product being attached.
Okay.
I mean, and then I'm trying to see if there was, yeah. Okay, that's more of a construction side, but yes, we'll make sure that's done and you have a final product that looks nice.
Great, thank you. Any other questions from the DRB on any of these 3 issues? Carol, you have another question?
No, sorry.
Okay. Grace, do you have a question?
Yeah, could we go back to the section that you were showing through the railing? Because from one of the details, it looks like you're tacking the new railing to the back of it, and then in the section I didn't see it, so I just didn't understand how that's coming
Oh, the
together.
section was of the ramp. So it's the new product, not the old product. That's the difference. Let me go back here. Hold on. So when you saw this cross section here, that's the new ramp. That's why you're not seeing the
Right,
double.
but the existing guardrail on the left,
Yeah,
you should be seeing it behind,
Yeah, you
farther
should
left.
be. Yeah, you
Okay.
should see this product here, but this is for the rail detailing of how they were specifically for the handrail for the fire riser. That's why this was added to the set.
But it's not accurately showing the guardrail at the.
Yeah,
at the
we're not.
landing.
It's outside of the parameter what we're showing for what they wanted, which was this fire riser right there. That's what we're trying to emphasize. It's the handrail at the fire riser detail.
Does that answer your question, Grace?
Yeah, I mean this is
I
the,
guess, yeah, I guess the
yeah,
drawing
this is
just
up
isn't
on top.
representing
That's
it
the way it's going
correctly.
to be built. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you could have added that on the edge. That's that's what you'll see up on top, the rail, and then that behind it. You're right. If you went out further on that side on top, you would have seen me with this. It would have looked like this detail down here with the rail, that rail behind it on this side. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Right. Anything else from the DRB? Carol.
Yes, I just have I need a better understanding. This project is basically to provide ADA ramping into their building. If the sale does not go through with the city of Tucson, what happens?
Then they do
Yeah.
a TRE, transfer revocable easement, to allow them to have. They have to allow the city. The city has
Yeah.
a violation on their end in that they actually did improvements to stone and to a tool years ago and didn't provide access to the handicap access to the building. So
Okay.
either it'll be a purchase or a TRE where they'll have that ramp on the city property. There's no way stopping it because the city has a liability here because they have to allow ADA accessibility
Right.
to the building.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? If not, maybe we should go back to the criteria and take a look. Do we feel like they've addressed all 3 points? Is everyone
Yeah,
comfortable
well-
with that?
Oops.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if we need to go through point by point since we
Mhm.
made comments last time. And to
Right.
me, it seems they've addressed all our concerns.
Okay, Maria, could we just go back to those 3 points and just, just revisit those one last time? Okay, so we had the shade study, which they have shown compliance. We showed the location of existing and outdoor proposed lighting and more detailed information on colors and materials of proposed railings, ramp, and staircase. So, Carol, did you have another question?
Well, I want to express, I'd like to hear from the other members of the committee about what their feelings are about, you're going to have a welded wire mesh that's rusting on top of a painted railing, and eventually those rust runs are going to show on the painted railings. Are we okay with that?
Maybe that's a question for the applicant. Vince, I know a lot
Yeah,
of
you're not
times.
gonna, it's adjacent. Here, let's go. Let me show you. So so,
If I could
Uh,
finish my question,
okay.
a lot of times the rusted finish is sealed with a sealer, so the running does not happen. Is that what you intend to do, is seal the rusted finish?
Right, it's a final product, so yes. You,
Okay.
I didn't see any reference to sealing the welded wire mesh after welding on your plans.
I didn't note that. That's
Okay.
that could be something that you tell us to do. That's fine.
Okay, with that, Carol, are you satisfied?
Yeah,
All right. Any other last minute questions or comments?
And Ms. Prime, members of the DRB, I just wanted to let Vince know that I shared with the DRB the motion by the PRS yesterday. And Vince, I emailed it to you this morning.
Okay, yeah, and, okay, perfect. So we've,
Yeah.
so I showed you with the lights, the color, and the return on the rail, and then the other issue was the window 9. We don't need to do a fan in the window because we were able to get an operable fire rated glass. So we've met all the historic comments, and those were the 3 that I think they had, that we had to, let me just check my notes. Yeah, window 9, the return on the metal, and they wanted some dimensions on my windows. And then the handrail return, and then the bronze or black for the puck light for the metal trim.
And
Yes,
you
Carol.
included this already, right? All of these in your plans that we reviewed today, Vince?
No, they're not. I still have to add that information because we only had the meeting yesterday, and
Okay.
and I picked up
Right.
other comments. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I would like to do it all at once and now pick up that if you move forward and say we need to seal the metal, I'll add that, and I'll have one complete packet that's revised for everyone's concerns.
Okay, yes, Carol.
The plans that the Historic Society reviewed and gave us these comments, are they the same plans that you're showing us today?
Yes, the order of the pages are a little different because I put the shade structure together with but the same pages, just the ordering was a little different to emphasize what I needed to cover with you today.
Okay, but they were seeing the same railing designs, the same planting and shade studies, everything was the same. I don't care about the order.
Yeah, identical.
Okay, thank you.
All right, very good. Would anyone on the DRB care to propose a motion? It sounded like we needed to just add one stipulation for sealing the rusted finish. Other than that, I believe we found it all in compliance, correct? Any more discussion? All right, well, I guess I can take a stab at a motion. The Design Review Board has reviewed the applicant's project for compliance with Rio Nuevo area design criteria and recommends to the Planning and Development Services Director approval with the addition of a note to seal the rusted finish, finding the project in compliance with the building design standards set forth in UDC section 5.12.7C 1 through 15 and 5.12.7D.
I'll second that.
Great, thank you. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion has passed.
Thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and your work.
And I apologize for being so late in figuring out the computer issue. So some days are better than others. Thank you. You have a great day.
You
Bye.
as well. No worries. It happens. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Vince, I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Next up on our agenda, we have staff announcements.
Yeah, Ms. Prime, members of the DRB, the next meeting is in a week, on the 22nd, and we have aligned the return to the DRB of the El Presidio reactivation project. So they have submitted their revised design package, so I'll be sharing that with you sometime later today. And at the last meeting, Ms. Bright, the DRB was discussing with staff the applicability of certain criteria from the Rio Nuevo area, and when it's applicable or not, depending on the project. So Mr. Stevie requested the presence of the zoning administrator to help clarify some of the questions the DRB had at the last meeting. So, Ms. Anthony, are you will need to recuse for that portion of the meeting. I don't know if I should try to bring next Friday the zoning administrator or wait until the following DRB meeting. I understand Mr. Stevie wanted everybody from the DRB to be present. Of course, you could join in after the review of the El Presidio, join in the meeting, you and Mr. Stevie, or I can just try to bring the zoning administrator to the DRB at a separate, different meeting.
Is the next one April 5th after that?
Yes.
Can everyone present be at the April 5th meeting?
Let me look.
Because maybe it's a matter of who can be present.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
I
can be
can.
present. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I can be present.
And so can I.
I can as well. On April 5th.
But Maria, we have another meeting next week again? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what happened is that we moved today's meeting from the 8th.
Yeah, okay. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so we have several members that will need to be recused next week. Is that right?
Yeah, that would be Miss Anthony and Mr. Stevie because they were involved with the El Presidio reactivation project.
Okay, I also can't make it next week. So I don't know if
Okay.
we'll have someone else who could stand in and run the meeting, or I could try to reshuffle my schedule. Is everyone here planning on attending next week?
Wait, let's look at my calendar.
Maybe Nathan can be present.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Michelle,
And
can
at
you
this-
make it at the next meeting?
Yes, I can be at both.
Okay, great. And Ms. Dickinson?
Yes, I may have to leave a little early next week. That's my only concern,
Okay.
depending how long it goes.
And Ms. Clement?
Yes,
Okay. So it seems like we can make it for Friday next week.
Okay, good.
Hopefully Mr. Kapler can join in as well. Okay, so then I'll schedule the zoning administrator for. I'm gonna check her schedule as well, but for the April 5th meeting.
Sounds
Great.
good.
okay.
All right. Anything else? Any other announcements?
No, that's all I have, Ms. Bright.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Thank you, Maria. I guess with that, we will adjourn.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everybody. Enjoy your weekends.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you, Rosemary.
My pleasure. Bye.